A man with $5 million was terrified. Another man with $300,000 was completely fine. After watching thousands of people plan for retirement, you see the same patterns, the same mistakes, the same questions nobody gives a straight answer to. Today, we are giving you straight answers. Stick with this, and you will know things most people pay thousands of dollars to learn. Lesson 1: Someday is not a day of the week. There was a man who wanted to take his whole family to Africa. He was going to pay for all of it, but his kids could not coordinate their schedules. Then his cancer came back, and he never made it to Africa. The window for doing the things you love is smaller than you think. It does not announce when it is closing. If there is something you really want to do, a trip, an experience, time with people you love, do it now. Do not wait for someday. Someday may never come. There is no perfect time to start. Just simply begin. Type start in the comments if you have been waiting for someday. Lesson 2: The best investment is not trying to beat the market. Do you know someone who is always asking what the market is doing, what Bitcoin is doing, what investment is hot right now? That person might spend dinner talking about investments and forget to actually pay attention to their family. Meanwhile, their business or job suffers because they are so focused on beating the market that they neglect the things that actually pay them. After all that switching around, their returns are no better than someone who just stayed patient and let it grow. Three things hurt them: too much time on things they cannot control, being less present with their family, and zero energy improving their actual skills. So be patient with your investments, be present with your family, and invest in yourself. Stick with me because lesson 3 is about the best gift you can leave your family, and it is not money. Lesson 3: The best gift you can leave your family is not money, it is clarity. A good friend died tragically. He had a very successful business, big and complex, but he had no will. He always thought he was invincible and would get it done later. When he died, tragic enough, it created a huge mess. Disagreements, hurt business, hurt feelings, no clarity on what to do next. Families get torn apart not because of money, but because of lack of clarity. Nobody thinks it will happen to them until it does. By then, it is too late. Get your estate documents in order: your will, your power of attorney, your beneficiaries. Make sure they are named properly. You do this not just to tell people what to do with your money. You do this to protect your relationships. If you have a will, comment will. If not, comment start. Lesson 4: Complexity is not sophistication, simplicity is. Imagine a woman with 8 different mutual funds held at the fund company. She did not even know what her cost basis was. Those funds were distributing dividends and capital gains, and she had no control over anything. She was confused, overwhelmed, and scared to make a move. Complexity creates confusion. Confusion creates paralysis. Paralysis costs you money. Simplify your investments. Consolidate where you can. When things are simple, they are easier to track and easier to understand what your best move is. Lesson 5: Don't light yourself on fire to keep someone else warm. Here is a situation that happens often. A retiree is completely fine. Her retirement is on track. But her daughter keeps overspending, credit cards, a lifestyle she cannot afford. Every single time, the retiree bails her out, again and again until the retirement account goes to zero. She thought she was saving her daughter from her own problems, but she actually created financial problems for herself. Help when you can, but not at the expense of becoming dependent on your own children. You cannot light yourself on fire to keep someone else warm. If you are still watching, you are serious about getting this right. Lesson 6 is about dying with regrets. Lesson 6: Don't die rich with a full set of regrets. Many people start with something like the 4% rule. They are constantly worried about spending, holding back on everything. Over time, their money grows tremendously, but their lifestyle only improves a little bit. There were trips they wanted to take, time they wanted to spend with grandkids, but they kept putting it off, afraid of running out of money. Then they hit 85 with plenty of money, more than they could ever spend, but they left a lot of life on the table. The 4% rule does not account for how life actually works. Spending is not flat, and neither is your health. If you can be flexible with your withdrawals, front load your experiences. Do the things you want to do when you have the time, your health, and the money. Comment front if you agree that experiences should come first. Lesson 7, Social Security timing is not a solo decision. It is a marriage decision. So many people take Social Security at age 62. That sounds like the smart thing to do, especially if you are not in great health. But what people do not consider is how it affects the surviving spouse. If you are the higher wage earner and you take benefits early, you affect what your surviving spouse will get for the rest of their life. Social Security is not just about you, it is about the person who outlives you. If you are the higher earner, think about what your spouse will receive after you are gone. Delaying could mean hundreds of thousands of dollars over their lifetime. Lesson 8. Before a big withdrawal, ask what it will really cost you. Imagine a man who panicked when the market got volatile. He pulled $500,000 out of his 401k and moved it into a rental property. He thought that would be more stable. He figured he would pay 25 to 30% in taxes. But he did not consider how that withdrawal would affect his Medicare costs. He did not consider the net investment income tax. He did not consider how all those taxes stack together. When it was all said and done, he paid nearly 50% in taxes on that one withdrawal. Big withdrawals do not just create a tax bill on that withdrawal, they create a chain reaction on your other income. Before you make a big withdrawal, ask yourself, what is it really going to cost you? Lesson 9. A plan that only works when everything is great is not a plan, it is a gamble. Some people have most of their money in leveraged real estate. The cash flow looks great as long as everything works perfectly. But if anything goes sideways, an AC unit breaks, a vacancy for a few months, an HOA assessment, there is no margin for error. When real estate hits a rough patch, they may need to force liquidate stocks and bonds to cover the investment properties. Leverage amplifies everything, both the upside and the downside. Make sure you have enough liquid assets to weather the storms without being forced to sell at the worst possible time. Lesson 10, retirement is not an ending, it is a transition. And a transition needs a destination. A business owner worked 50 to 60 hours a week for 25 years. The company wanted to buy him out. He sold the business in his early 50s. He took 2 weeks off. 2 weeks later, he bought another business and went back to work. This happens all the time. When you work for decades and then stop, you need a reason to get up in the morning. Without that, retirement can feel empty. Before you retire, ask yourself, what am I retiring to, not just away from? You need a purpose waiting for you on the other side. Comment purpose if you already know what you are retiring to. Lesson 11. Coordination is not optional. One advisor not talking to another can cost you thousands. Imagine you are doing strategic Roth conversions, planning everything precisely for filling up certain tax brackets, staying below Medicare surcharge thresholds. Then, right before finalizing the numbers, you mention, oh, by the way, my other advisor sold some stock and created $200,000 in capital gains. That one transaction blows up the entire strategy. Tax planning does not work in silos. Make sure everyone you work with is talking to each other. Lesson 12. Retirement is not a solo plan. Build your retirement bridge together. A husband was excited about skiing in Italy, traveling to Ireland, spending time in the mountains. His wife looked at him and said, I don't like the mountains. I don't like skiing. I want to go to the beach and read a book. Two completely different ideas about retirement. Many people assume they are on the same page, but they are not. Have the conversation before you retire. What does a good day look like? What does a good year look like? You do not have to want the same things, but you need to know what each other wants. Lesson 13. Don't wait for retirement to start living. Too many people die after retirement with too many things they wanted to do but never did. And too many people are too scared to retire, leaving a lot of life on the table. Strangely, some people who get a diagnosis and find out their time is limited actually start living. It wakes them up. They finally see that life is finite and precious. If you do not know how long life will last, it has to be about the journey, not the destination. Don't wait for retirement to start living. The best time was yesterday. The next best time is right now. Lesson 14. Most people are not trapped. They just don't know they are free. A man was extremely stressed and stuck at a job he hated. He had plenty of money and could absolutely retire today. As soon as he realized the numbers actually worked, his anxiety dropped dramatically. It was like walking around with a 100-pound backpack, trying to take the stairs when the elevator was sitting right there. Many people do not realize the button is there. Get clarity on the numbers. Do not guess. The anxiety you may be carrying is not based on reality. If you made it this far, hit like. Subscribe and tap the bell for more straight answers. Lesson 15. The basics are not boring. They are the foundation. Some people try to copy what wealthy people do, speculating on individual stocks, buying unique real estate, using complex strategies. But they do not have the basics down. No emergency cash, no automated systems for investing, not living within their means, not saving 10 to 20%. They skip all of that and go right to the fancy stuff. And it kills them. You cannot copy advanced moves without first mastering the fundamentals. Get your ABCs down before you tackle calculus. Lesson 16. Retirement does not just change your schedule, it changes your identity. A business owner spent most of his life building his company. When he sold the business, he lost his purpose. He started spending much more time at home, but his wife already had her own life. They got divorced. Selling a business or retiring is a massive change. If you are unprepared emotionally, it can be overwhelming. Before you make this transition, have the hard conversations with yourself and your spouse. Know who you are outside of work. Lesson 17. What is the point of being rich if you don't have anyone to spend it with? Some people are notoriously frugal. They save at every opportunity. At the end of the day, they have a lot of money, but not a lot of relationships. Everything feels transactional, not relational. In a healthy relationship, there is give and take. Give 60%, take 40% in every relationship. Be generous with your time, your energy, your money. The good people in your life will stick around, and they matter a lot more than the money in your bank account. Lesson 18. The best investors are not the smartest. They are the most patient. In the late 1990s, one investor saw everyone making money in tech stocks. He felt like he was missing out, so he sold all his value stocks and put everything into tech stocks at the very top of the market. 3 years later, he sold at the bottom. He wondered why he had not made any money in 6 years. Another investor had a similar portfolio but did not sell. He just kept rebalancing. He made 6% per year over that same 6-year period. Stick with your own plan. Tune out the noise. Play your own game. Lesson 19. The market does not wait for you to feel ready. Someone rolled their 401k into an IRA, then put 60% of it in cash because they knew the market was going to go down. They planned to get back in at the bottom. Since that time, the market went up 50%. Timing the market sounds smart, but waiting for the perfect moment usually means you miss the move entirely. Get invested, stay invested, stick to the plan. Time in the market beats timing the market every time. Lesson 20. Big wealth is not built on big moves. It is built on small decisions done right, over and over. A woman had a health savings account sitting at a bank earning 2% interest. She could have paid medical expenses out of pocket and invested the HSA instead, getting triple tax benefits. Second, she was giving cash to charity instead of donating low-cost basis stock. She was paying capital gains on investments she did not need to. Those two things alone cost her tens of thousands of dollars in extra taxes. Small stuff adds up. Look at your HSA. Look at how you give to charity. These little optimizations done consistently can be worth more than chasing better returns. Lesson 21. The hardest part of retirement is not saving enough. It is allowing yourself to enjoy it. A man had 4 times the amount of money he needed to quit work and do the things he wanted, but he could not get himself to do it. He kept making excuses. People at work need me. What if I need the money later? Part of it was guilt, part of it fear. Having enough is not the same as feeling like you have enough. If the numbers say you are fine, trust the numbers. Give yourself permission. The money is there to fund your life, not to sit in an account while you miss it. Lesson 22. Cheap advice is expensive. The right guidance is a good investment. Someone tried to handle their own investments, always looking to save a few dollars here and there, buying cheaper versions of things, but often buying the wrong things. They could have done much better by getting advice, building a portfolio, and thinking long-term. Saving money on advice does not matter if you are making wrong decisions. Know when to get help. The cost of good advice is almost always less than the cost of a bad decision. Lesson 23. Clarity is not just about money. It is about peace of mind. A couple talked about working together for months. When they finally committed, the wife started crying. Asked why, she said, "He has been stressing about this for years. Finally, I know he is going to get some help and hopefully relax and start enjoying retirement." The weight people carry about retirement is not just financial, it is emotional. It affects your spouse, your relationships, your sleep. You do not have to go it alone. Get clarity, make a decision. The stress of not knowing is often far worse than the problems you may actually be facing. Lesson 24. Retirement is not about how much money you have. It is about how much you need. People say, "I do not have enough to retire." They are comparing themselves to some number they read online, or what their neighbor has, or what they think they need. Anyone can retire. It does not matter how much money you have. What matters is how much money it takes for you to actually live, and you can control that. Prioritize what matters most in your life. Stop chasing a number. Start designing a life you can actually afford. The less you need, the sooner you will be free. Lesson 25. Money does not buy happiness. Freedom, time, and good people. That is where happiness lives. Very wealthy people can be miserable. People with not much money can be extremely happy. You can be happy at any wealth level. How much money you have does not determine how happy you are. What determines happiness is how you spend your time, who you spend it with, and how much freedom you feel in your heart. Stop thinking you need to do every single thing yourself. Get help. Focus on what matters most to you, because at the end of the day, money is just a tool. Freedom, time, and good people. That is where happiness really lives. If you made it to the end, you are the kind of person who values what truly matters. Hit like. It helps others find these lessons. Subscribe for more straight answers. Comment which lesson hit you the hardest, just the number. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.